Thank you for coming back to We the People News. Please subscribe, please leave your thumbs up, and please leave your comments. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for all the support that you give me on this channel, allowing me to do this. Thank you so much. Earlier today, I had 2 videos. If you did not see them, please go back and watch them. I will link both of them to the end of this video. It would help me out a lot on YouTube, and it's a lot of good stuff I don't want you to miss. Inflation getting worse, not better. Let's talk about this. Y'all please join in the conversation by commenting below what you think and give me your views on it. I would love to know what you're thinking. Okay, inflation is getting worse. Is it getting worse for you? Is getting worse for everybody that I know? And if you're like most people, yes, it's getting worse for you too. Inflation is killing the American people in their pocketbooks and in their bank accounts. Let's talk about this. Right now, inflation is at 8.54%. Under Trump, it was 2.3%. So in just 15 months, Joe Biden has made it soar 6% more in just 15 months. You know, I don't think nobody is crazy enough to think that this is not Joe's fault 100%, because it is 100% Joe's fault. I mean, look at what Joe Biden did to the gas prices by almost killing our oil companies' ability to drill for oil on productive land. I mean, they've got all these permits, but it's for land that don't have no oil. They don't want to drill on those lands. It'd just be a waste of their time and money, and I don't blame them a bit. Dust don't pay that much. They want oil. They don't want dust. The gas prices are going up and up, and the number one reason for all this inflation is Joe Biden's policies, what he's doing. And I mean, everything is going up. Inflation is hitting everything. Groceries, housing market, cars, your doctor visits, your medication. Inflation is touching everything. And it all stems from what Joe Biden has done to our oil industry. So the way I see things is, our government is creating all of this inflation so they can get more tax revenue. So they will have endless supply of your tax money to send to other countries. Because the more things cost, the more tax you're going to pay on that item. That's lining their pockets. They can send this money to other countries that they care more about than America. This will help them other countries, and at the same time, it's them thumbing their nose and saying the hell with the American people once again. There are 2 things that we can do to put an end to all this inflation. I'm going to tell you a sugar story. When I was a kid, probably 14, 15 years old, sugar prices went up sky high. This was in like the 70s. Sugar prices went sky high. Nobody could afford sugar, so nobody was buying sugar. And sugar kept rising and kept rising and kept rising. Well, people wasn't buying sugar, so they had no choice but to bring the sugar prices back down so they can move the stuff. So that leads me to number 2. Cut way back on everything. I mean, if you don't need it to actually live day to day on, cut back. Don't buy it. Let it sit on the shelves. When these companies and the stores are not selling these products, they're just sitting there and they're not making no money, guess what? They're going to lower the prices to move the items. This is 2 easy things that we can do. Just don't buy the stuff unless we have to have it to live. This will work. I mean, I've seen it work in my lifetime. When gas went up real high one time before, people quit driving. And then when I was a kid, these sugar prices went up so high. People quit buying sugar. It came right down. It came down fast. And it's never went sky high crazy like that since then. So we taught the sugar industry a lesson back then. Now, I know inflation has brought sugar prices up a little higher now than they were then, but that's just common inflation. These prices back in the 70s, they went through the roof for no reason at all. But the American people done exactly what Ronald Reagan says the American people does best. Ronald Reagan says you give the American people the problems, the same problem that you give Congress, and the American people will always do a better job at fixing the problem, and it will cost a lot less also. Ronald Reagan was a smart man. Thank you all so much for all your support on this channel. I really do appreciate it. Please sound off in the comments. Join in this conversation. Let me know how you feel about this and how the inflation is really hurting you. Or is it hurting you? And don't you all remember when they said inflation would be temporary? Well, what happened to that? Temporary should be done by now, right? But no, we're still dealing with inflation. And there's no end in sight. These lawmakers in D.C., they don't feel inflation. They don't care about the people living paycheck to paycheck. They don't care about the people that's living on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, because they will never know this feeling. They will never know the feeling of not being able to buy their groceries, not being able to pay their rent, their car payment. They won't know the feeling about my kid wants a new pair of tennis shoes, but I can't get it for him. They won't know the feeling of not being able to afford your medicine, or cutting your pills in half, or skipping a meal. They won't know that feeling because they're living high on the hog from our tax money that we give them. Instead of thanking us, what do? They make us suffer. In the midterms, we have to get rid of these animals. I'm sorry, I'm cussing the animals now. I should not do that. Because animals are better than these people. We have to get rid of them in the midterms. And if we can't get rid of them in the midterm, then we have to do it in the 2024 election. Either way, we have to stand up and take our country back. Y'all, please watch the video that's popping up here now. That is the 2 videos from earlier today. If you missed them, please watch them. It would help me out a lot. And there is a lot of good information on there I don't want you to miss. Y'all, please keep your faith in Jesus Christ. He will get us through this. Say a prayer for our world. Say a prayer for our country. Say a prayer for those people that's getting a paycheck in Washington for doing absolutely nothing. Say a prayer for everyone that's hurting through COVID, financial hardship, or any other affliction. And just know I love you all, and I will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Please check out the videos that's popping up here now. That was from earlier today. Thank you so much, and I love you all. Ciao.